Welcome everybody! Welcome to today's video. Here are 20 facts about the most populated borough of New York, Brooklyn. Number 1. Brooklyn has the biggest population of all of the boroughs of New York at about 2.6 million people. Alright, number 2. Brooklyn was founded by some Dutch colonists in 1646 and named after the Dutch town of Breukelen. Yeah, we're good at naming things. This Dutch settlement in the New World consists out of 6 little towns: Schravenzanden, Breukelen, Nieuw Amersfoort, Midwoud, Nieuw Utrecht and Boswijk. Number 4. 4 is for we lost to our neighbors across the pond in 1664, the British. Number 5. What did the British do with it? They made it into a war zone. Why? Taxes. Brooklyn is where the first and biggest battle of the American Revolutionary War was fought. Number 6. After getting it back from the British again, the Brooklynites started to build and incorporate the surrounding towns and cities, which were swallowed up in the greater city of Brooklyn by 1896. Number 7. While doing that, they started to build a little bridge in 1869 to connect Brooklyn and Manhattan, the Brooklyn Bridge. It took them 14 years, $400 million, accounting for inflation, and 27 lives. But hey, the spot is very Instagrammable. Number 8. Number 8 as in the great mistake of 1898. Brooklyn was a city on itself until it was consolidated into the greater city of New York. For many Brooklynites, this felt as a loss of identity. Why the merger? New York's dick measuring contest with Chicago. New York was feeling small because Chicago was growing big and strong. Those 1 million Brooklynites helped a long way. Number 9. A big part of those Brooklynites also worked in Manhattan. The subway was and is still the main way of getting around, with almost 93% of the residents using it. Opening in 1904, the subway is celebrating its 150th birthday this year. Over the years, it has developed its own commuter culture with crazy hobo, sweaty office workers, and its own yearly holiday, the No Pants Subway Ride Day. Number 11. These pantsless commuters are an example of Brooklyn's gentrification. Where the borough was the home of the lower to middle class workers in the 20th century, it started being taken over by an influx of artists, students, and entrepreneurs. This was mostly due to the relatively low rent prices and a short commute to Manhattan. These new attendees made the borough more attractive, which made the demand and prices rise. The word hipster kind of has a negative connotation to it here. Number 12. Gentrification is not only thanks to the hipsters. The borough has also seen a decrease in crime through the city's bigger investment in its police efforts. This was needed to take on the mafia problem, and the gang wars, and the race riots, and the drug dealing. Anyway, crime has actually decreased by 76% in northern Brooklyn and by 85% in southern Brooklyn in a period of 26 years. Alright, number 13. Moving on from crime to the fun facts. Brooklyn is the birthplace of the iconic cuddly baby shower present known as the teddy bear. The creation of Russian Jewish immigrants Rose and Moritz Michtom saw the light of day in 1902, inspired by the cartoon of President Theodore Roosevelt, who refused to shoot a little teddy bear. Alright, number 14. Down south in Brooklyn you can find Coney Island, which is mostly known for its iconic Ferris wheel. Coney Island also is home to America's first ever roller coaster, built in 1884. Number 15, almost there. Going back to the Brooklyn Bridge for a moment, in the same year of 1884, the people were a bit skeptical after the opening. The city had to convince people that the bridge was safe to cross and not crumble. How? Elephant parade! 21 marching elephants, because why not? Number 16, Dumbo. Yes, Dumbo. Down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass. Fun neighborhood, good food, great art. Number 17. Pizza Mafia. New York is home to many pizza spots who do not always get along with each other. In Dumbo you can find one of the OG pizza parlors, Lombardi's, which takes center stage in many feuds. One of the most bizarre stories is when Lombardi's was excused from Al Capone's extortion of pizza parlors. Al Capone forced the pizza parlors of New York into buying and using this crappy mozzarella that was produced by a company he owned. The defiance was met with firebombing. Number 18. Another landmark of Brooklyn can be found right at its heart. The Barclays Center. This $1 billion multi-purpose entertainment venue can seat over 17,000 people. It houses the Brooklyn Nets basketball team and the New York Islanders hockey team. This venue is also used as the stage of big concerts by some of today's greatest artists. Number 19. Among the world's biggest artists are some Brooklynites. Brooklyn is the birthplace of some of the biggest names in history. Some among them: Al Capone, Jay-Z, Michael Jordan, Steve Rogers, Barbra Streisand, Jimmy Fallon, Mike Tyson, and of course, who can forget the biggest one of them all, Adam Sandler. Alright, number 20, the last one. The last one will be Saturday Night Fever, filmed right out of the Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. The John Travolta starring disco-defining movie of the 70s. That was all, folks. Thanks for watching and have a great time in New York.